After hurricane and technical delays, our country roared into a new era of space exploration today as NASA's Artemis rocket began a mission to orbit the moon. Here's Tom Costello.
It was just before 2 a.m. on a cloudless Florida night.
And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
The most powerful rocket in NASA history came screaming to life, rattling buildings and windows, headed for a 26-day uncrewed orbit around the moon and charting a path to one day go long and deep.
The moon is just a few days away. Mars is months and months away.
On board, test dummies that will register the G-forces and radiation exposure, with astronauts set to board the next flight around the moon in 2024, then landing in 25 with a crew that includes a woman and person of color. And this is what the future looks like. Astronauts working on a new lunar space station called Gateway. Already, the Gateway sections are coming together in Houston.
It's going to let us fly crews from Earth to Gateway. From there, they will go onto the lunar surface.
Just this week, a new NASA satellite named Capstone arrived at the moon, scouting the best future orbit for Gateway. This is Capstone, the actual size. It weighs about 50 pounds. It has these deployable solar panels. The critical piece of technology is the antenna on top, communicating directly with an orbiting lunar NASA satellite.
You can think of it like a GPS system for the moon.
Underscoring why Artemis, with its big orbital loop around the moon, is so critical before splashdown next month off San Diego. Next year, NASA plans to name the astronauts for America's first return to the moon in 50 years, as Artemis picks up where Apollo left off. Tom Costello, NBC News at the Kennedy Space Center.
Exciting times in space. Finally, next month marks 50 years since the final Apollo mission to the moon. Tonight, NASA's Artemis test rocket is on the way to opening the door to mankind's return to the moon, stirring what is an endless fascination. It has mesmerized and beckoned humanity throughout history. A mystery in plain sight, the moon. So close, but beyond reach.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
At least until the crew of Apollo 11 closed the distance more than half a century ago.
It's one small step for man.
America planted its flag on the moon, declared victory in the space race, and then turned its attention to other space priorities. As our ability has advanced over the years to allow us to peek into the heavens, to see galaxies far beyond our own, the moon, our closest neighbor, has still beckoned, still stoked our imaginations.
And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together.
And now tonight, a new generation is succumbing to the moon's irresistible draw. Uncrewed for this test mission, the Orion space capsule sailing toward a close lunar rendezvous. Been there, done that? Maybe. Except this time, NASA views the moon as a stepping stone, a bridge to Mars and beyond. The nearly 3 months of delays leading to today's Artemis launch reminding us of how hard spaceflight is. But if all goes well, humans could walk the moon's dusty surface once more by the middle of this decade. Mankind's giant leap landing us in a new starting place. And that's Nightly News. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.